Hi friends, this is Sanjay Parihar. I'm from Houston. I'm a technologist and I'm here with my friend, Mr. Anand, and very much a special guest here, Mr. Ramki, who is CEO and founder of Infiniqo. And welcome, Mr. Ramki, in our show.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity, both Sanjay and Anand. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be talking to you today.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much. And hey, Anand, how are you?
Very good, very good. Welcome, Ramki, and thank you, Sanjay. And yeah, it will be a good conversation with Ramki.
Absolutely.
I've known him for some time now, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And considering we both are, Anand and I are technologists, it's kind of always fun to talk to someone from the technology background and entrepreneur technology. So it kind of very much helpful for our entrepreneur community, just for getting the knowledge base directly from an entrepreneur, and it's inspiration for them, right? So, Mr. Ramki, when I see your LinkedIn, I see you're working as CEO and founder, and there is a lot of past work has been done, and this is an insurance-based company, and this looks very interesting as a overall. I'm sure our community will be very interested to know about how. What is the inspiration behind it? What is the thought process which basically put you, you started something on your own, and I'm sure entrepreneurship is harder than anything else, So yeah. So we are very, very keen to hear your story here. Please go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, entrepreneurship is something people start at different stages in life. I happen to start after 27 years of experience in the IT industry. So it's a very, very, you might think late, or somebody might think, so it's just, they're trying out something like that. So it's obviously a journey. It's a build up to where I am today. So a bit of a background of myself. So as you said, I come from a technology background, you're right. Just like many of us, I did my mechanical engineering and then computer science engineering, and then joined the IT industry. And at that time, it's early stages of where the IT was picking up. And I started my journey with TCS, having joined them as a programmer analyst trainee. And from there, the journey has been tremendous in terms of the way the IT industry has grown. And it is, though we started off as a technology, like the programming and systems analysis and all that, the lot of opportunity has been there around the business side of things. Ultimately, whatever we are developing from a technology, it has to make a business sense. So the journey has been very interesting. So I would kind of treat this as a phases and stages, right? So the first stage is your pure technology. You're trying to write programs. You're trying to solve some technical challenges and all that. So you're a programmer, system analyst, and designers and all that. So that's the first stage. The next stage is you tend to get a better understanding of the business you are into. What your customers' business are. In my case, it has been the world of insurance. So I started off with life insurance as a client, as a UK client, and we developed an application for them. It was probably the mainframe technology at the time. So that's that you tend to get to understand the business and move into that. So that's where slowly the industry got verticalized. Right, from a pure technology services to vertical-based solutions. So that's when I became the part of the insurance vertical as such, and then you get the opportunity to drive large-scale projects, and all to that industry. So I happened to be lucky enough to lead one of a groundbreaking, so to say, insurance brokerage system building. And this was for a South African client, and it is something that a business wanted to bring together a concept. They're saying that, hey, we don't want to rely on IT for all our changes. We want to be able to do our own rules and other things like that. So the journey has moved to building product-oriented kind of a systems as such. And then the next phase of my career has been to the business development side of things. So you take on the profit and loss P&L roles, revenue generation for our clients and all that. So get into the roles of account management and client partner and that kind of roles. So it's been a journey of technologies. Then you're delivering projects. Then you get some expertise into the industry, and then you're into the business development side of things. And then I've played multiple roles in terms of leading business units, especially in the insurance space, having worked for TCS, Cognizant, and later in Mindtree. And from them, it kind of itch, right? Okay, it's been you've tried so many things, and you want to get to a point where, hey, I want to do something of myself to this world, and that's when I got thinking about so I've been in the insurance industry. There's a lot of technology related to there's digital transformation, everything coming. So it felt that a lot of things are coming together to come up with new ideas and all that. And given that thinking, I just jumped into becoming an entrepreneur and thinking that it should be easy, right? I mean, with all the experience that I've gone through, it might be an easy thing. A lot of people are doing getting into entrepreneurship like 25, 26 years and all that. But having come with all of this experience, it should be a cakewalk. But that's not. So it's a realization. It's not an easy ball game. And but again, there's a risk element. There is something you have to strive. It's a different ball game altogether. So that's how it started. And the name of the company I started is Infiniqo. Again, as the name suggests, it is all about infinite possibilities. And so we have a tagline called Inspiring Possibilities. So Infiniqo, Inspiring Possibilities. So that's where I started, that's the mindset with which I started.
So just one question, I mean, and just out of curiosity, so what was the triggering point? I mean, I know that you mentioned that you have so much experience, and then you said just triggered, hey, let's go to the entrepreneur work, and it should be easy, right? And then you mentioned that it's not as it seems like, of course. What are some of the problems which a typical, and I think it's more than a business problem. Sometimes entrepreneurs feel the individual thing, like where you feel a very well-established line on one side, and a very non-established on other side, right? How did you keep up going on the unestablished side as such?
Excellent question. So when I started, what you're always thinking that, okay, you've led businesses before, and entrepreneurship is running a business, but you're starting with zero, literally. So the mindset we start out with is your experience will pull you into this one. So as a working for a large corporation and all that, you have a huge amount of team and support system and leadership and executive support. Everything is there. So you have an idea, you have a customer problem, you want to solve it. It's just a question of rallying the people to support you and give a proposal or build a business case, and you do it. But starting as an entrepreneur, all that is wiped out.
Yes.
The whole support system is literally wiped out. You are everything to start off with. I mean, if you have an idea, you raise capital and have a team, that's different. But when you are alone, it is everything. You are everything. So I think that hits you pretty hard. You know what you want. First of all, you don't know what you want to do, but you want to do something, and then you jump in. And then you're looking to do certain things. So the ideas are idea generation of what would make sense to the market is itself a big challenge. You might have isolation. Hey, I want to do this. I want to do this, and all that. But does it solve some problem, or does it create a new opportunity for the market? Should I think blue ocean? Should I pick up an existing problem and try to figure it out? So there's lots of questions, and we set our mind as, okay, Infiniqo, infinite thing. You think infinite, but you got to start somewhere. It's not about infinite. You got to start something small, right? So I think that is the challenge. So what we went about is so I started trying to talk to some of the people whom I already know and see if they would be interested to join me. So I talked to a few people, and we had I pulled them into this temporary offices and all that. It's a lot of brainstorming and all that. So over a period of few months, we came up with a set of 20 ideas. We said that, okay, let's, I think these are the top 20 things that we can think of. Just brainstorm, right? So these are 20 things we can do. But you can start work on all the 20 things. So you have to just pick one or two. So we went through a lot of the brainstorming discussions, and finally we came to, we took an inspiration from one simple but innovative thing that we saw. That became our foundation to what we started off as Infiniqo as such. So the inspiration that we took was, we looked at some prototypes here and there and all that. So, and I was talking to one of my colleague who ultimately became my co-founder, Jay McNee. And he was showing me, hey, Ramki, I just developed something small, prototype to help the doctors immerse them into the little AR application and see how they play it to train themselves into a crisis situation, right? So, and having looked at just 5 seconds, I looked at that and said that, hey, this is totally new. This is totally something we've never seen like this. And let's see what it takes to bring it to the world of insurance. Insurance is all about risk management. It's about crisis situations. It's about preparedness and all that. So that's a, hey, this kind of a immersive element that is there in training a doctor or a surgeon can be invaluable to the world of insurance risk management. And that's where it just jumped in and said that, hey, this is what we need to do and take it. How and all that, we'll figure it out. But that's where we started.
Wow, that's nice. Yeah, that's cool actually. Yeah, that's really, so that's good actually. I think you're located in New Jersey, right, Ramki? You are in New Jersey.
I'm in Princeton, New Jersey.
Yeah, Princeton, New Jersey, right? Now, also actually, the next thing which is really very interestingly happening, because Sanjay and me are both technologists, but both are actually into this hottest automation world actually. And so this AI and automation, they're now considered to be like the hottest topics. And of course, we are lucky actually, Sanjay and me, we both are involved and we guide enterprises. But I just wanted your thoughts, how this industry, even if it's insurance, how is it adopting to, and I know it's rapidly growing field. And if you can share your thoughts on insurance, it will be good. And what are you thinking about, for future? Of course, now you're gone into this AR world and education and training and insurance domain. That I understand. But you should be thinking now the next steps, right, on automation, AI, and also your future. If you can share some thoughts, that'll be nice and inspiring.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, yes, AI, if I look at it, when I did my engineering, there's a specialization for masters in AI. That was like late 80s.
Wow.
But it's only now we are seeing mainstream AI, right? So that means, I mean, it really has matured over the years for the technology to take the shape where it can be readily applicable to the industry use cases now that we are talking about. Yeah, I mean, AI is, I mean, as you all know, it's a very, very powerful tool, and it's going to it's going to take us to the next wave. just like technology goes in waves, and probably we are going to go through the AI wave for sure. So we have seen, I mean, even looking at the insurance world, it is all about, insurance is all about it is managing helping your clients manage the risk properly, right? And that's a client side of things. But again, there's so much of opportunity in terms of automation, with which automated processes that are there in terms of the claims processing, in terms of even the quotation processing. There's a tremendous amount of optimization and efficiencies that are brought in the space of applying the automation, especially. Coming to AI, it is all about how we can predict things better in the world of insurance, right? So the ability to predict better can be a huge benefit to the industry. So if you think of a catastrophic event that's happening and all. So given what is the past history of what has happened, what kind of events translate into what damages and all, but if you're able to predict and pinpoint things a lot more clearly, the industry is going to save a lot, or they're going to spend less in terms of expenses. So AI opportunity is huge that way. In terms of my own Infiniqo, how we are looking at AI is a little different. It is more in terms of we are training people. We are training the minds to build muscle memory, to do things when a real event happens. They need to go and be best prepared to act or respond to that. What AI can help us is, I mean, we're not there yet, but what can help us, if we are able to get into understanding every individual. Every individual is different. Their ability to learn and grasp things are very different. So how we can personalize the whole experience using the AI. So it could be visual oriented AI, it could be behavioral AI. So there are a lot of things in the future that we can look at. So we are talking to some of the technology companies to carve out a vision of how we can take a product, the AI capability, into a future product as such.
Right.
Yes, Sanjay.
And very interesting question in addition to what Anand just asked. COVID-19, right? I mean, it's kind of a totally new thing, and it's affecting. It's been a year. How did it? How it changed your thought process and business both in last 1 year?
Yeah. I mean, COVID-19 issue and the disruption that everybody as the world has gone through has given two perspectives. One is immediate thing is the impact, the negative impact because of that. The other is the positive side of things. It is like a hitting with a hammer. Okay, now and things have changed altogether, and it opened up whole new opportunities for people to think about what can be done in the new world or the new normal it's going towards, right? So for us, as you can see from our product, from an Infiniqo product perspective, it's all about virtual experiences, to be able to train people virtually, right? Creating simulations, virtual simulations and all that. So for us, we became a sweet spot for what we are doing with the COVID. Everybody working from homes, working from remotely, interacting remotely and all that. So it has given us an instant opportunity to bring out more virtualized experiences for different risk management use cases as such. So I would like to see it as a great opportunity. Yes, the world is changing, has changed for the good, and we all have to learn to live and all that. Again, I mean, if I look at our product is also applicable to not only insurance and risk management, but also in the medical education field as well. Now, learning is a continuous process. It is, I mean, no matter how much experience you have, unless you're continuously learning, it doesn't, you may not be able to make the professional impact that you have to. So it is our product is also applicable to the doctors, practicing doctors who are treating patients with different conditions. And now with COVID, there's a whole new dimension. It hits into every situation that is there. Now, what is that impact? Even doctors and practice, everybody is learning about how to deal with this condition and a new way of things, right? So what we are bringing together is a situational based training. So it is given the situation of patient condition, and now with COVID potential impacts and all that, how the human body behaves, it could be different. So the doctors, we try to simulate that experience and help train the doctors into the new conditions and situations. So for us, it's both as an opportunity. While we had a short-term impact in terms of the threads of conversations that we have been having with the clients, gone slow and all. But now I think things are picking up because we see ourselves more and more relevant to what's happening in the world.
No, that's good. That's good. Yeah. But what do you realize now, like Ramki, about this whole scenario of, you said the world is changing because of COVID. People have started working from home. The technology opportunities are seen, and then the education has become virtual. Of course, for kids also, college-going kids also, it's become virtual. Socially, they are impacted, right? So what do you see this world changing to, right? Because of course, you must have seen many situations in the business for 27 years you've been there. But this is something different people are experiencing. So will the world change towards working from home, virtual learning? You know, the landscape is changing. Social changes to the work environments, you know, how do I find work, especially the new kids and all that. You know, things are changing, right? So
Absolutely,
what do you want to share as a seasoned, you know, you're also a father, and
of course.
how are things changing, and how do you see the future generation adapting?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Some thoughts.
Yeah, sure. I can share. I mean, coincidentally, yesterday I was taking my son, who is getting ready for his college, to visit a couple of universities.
Yeah.
And the university education, what we've gone through until a couple of years back, versus now, you go into the state, it's everybody is wearing masks, and there's clear indication, social distancing and sanitizers everywhere and all that. And suddenly it feels that the education system is less crowded. That is, physically you're not seeing people, right? It's less crowded that way. But what I see, and the kids are really accustomed already. The schooling is become remote and all. So the expectations of how they would learn, how they would go about their education, I think is also changed now. So one thing that they've gotten used to is the remote virtual way of learning things, interacting just like we are doing right now. And that is going to continue a lot. Earlier, in order to have a customer meeting and all that, you have to plan a lot. There's 2 hours of travel or a flight, and for a half an hour meeting, you tend to take a flight and come back. So it's a whole day is gone. But now I think the productivity of time has come together a lot differently now. So I think that the interaction and connectedness, it's more of a virtual connectedness. While you're in a person, there's a connectedness that's totally different, which is you can't beat that. But even this virtual world, virtual connectedness is also very. People are learning to be connected and knowing each other through the virtual means and all that. Now that's going to continue and all that. And what I feel when people are not interacting as much face to face as such, is that it creates a whole new opportunity, again from a learning and a training perspective, whole new opportunity to experience things as real as it possible. And that's where I think virtualized experiences, interaction like this, and if you take it up, you're talking about virtual reality stuff, you're talking about augmented reality things, all of these things will come together. I mean, a lot of innovation will happen, and it will come together to create whole new experiences for people. And I mean, no, we're not too far away from people in stuff like this. We put our goggles or the eye sets and VR sets and really immerse ourselves. Assuming that, yeah, I mean, we are in a university, right? So everybody is wearing that. It's almost as good as that everybody is in the classroom physically together. Professor is right in front of your eyes talking and all that. You would see all that things come up. So I think there's a lot of excitement from the people who are going for colleges and all that. So
Facebook recently launched a product like this for the corporate. So, you know, like, especially when you wear the glass, you can be as close as like sitting or being in the same conference room and those kind of virtual world setup.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Last year they announced this product and I was like amazed. And I said, wow, this is definitely going on a very different direction. And it makes sense considering the circumstance right now. One more question, Mr. Ramki, which is I'm very interested. So, so the product you mentioned that you went to the ideas list and you picked some idea list. When did you realize that okay, now this can turn into, you know, the MVP? I can start, and this MVP then now will be successful, right? Productized, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what was the time? I mean, how much time it took for you to in the journey? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as we hit upon that, okay, this is something we want to do. Okay, this is the idea, we want to take it forward. It is immediate in terms of going after. Okay, what we should do next? Yes, we have this idea, but where do we start and all that, right? So, so then we looked at the whole spectrum of where the applicability of the solution would be. And that's when we felt that the world is going through rapid changes in the world of cyber risk. And cyber has been the thing that is not understood well enough, and it is very volatile, it's changing fast. So then we thought that should be the space that this kind of a solution would be very meaningful. And that's when we started saying, okay, we got to do research. We are not experts in a cyber world, so we got to learn. So that's the learning step, right? So then we looked at where can we get a deep insight into this world and all that. So then we looked at some of the universities actually conducting this cyber risk conferences and all that. We did some cold calling and saying that, hey, we are the technologists looking for to be part of something and all that. They said, yeah, come over. Yeah, we'll welcome you. So this was St. John's University in New York City. And next day we went, and myself and my colleague, we went to the conference, and we were shocked to see we were the only technologists in the room. There are like 70% were lawyers. There are a few people from insurance companies, and we were the two geeks. We were definitely looking very odd there. And but we just listened through the entire day of everything, what's going on and all that. But that was the moment we said, there is so much that goes in this and all that, right? From legal to government and FBI and forensics, then the insurance companies, this whole value chain, the IT and all that. So it just opened up the whole canvas for us. And I said, okay, this is not going to be immediate. We really need to learn this space and all that. So that's where we started. We got a better idea about what we are setting ourselves to. So, and but we had something. We had a little prototype that we already built. So then We tagged some of the panelists over the little 5-minute break. We went and talked to them and just open up their imagination to, hey, this is what something that we're doing. Nothing to do with cyber, nothing to do with insurance. So that, hey, you guys have something interesting and all that. Because we told about the gamification concept. We told about immersion concept.
That's it.
So then it became a conversation starter for us. Hey, I said, hey, why don't you guys meet up for lunch for next week and all that. So then we met up. And we didn't know what in cyber we didn't know. But during the lunch conversations, it just so happened that one of the leaders that we spoke to, he said, hey, this is something you should try in tabletops. I said, what is a tabletop? And I said, tabletop is something that we do simulations for cyber attacks. So we'll talk about like if an attack happens on your company, what you should do and all that. It's typically a couple of hours of enacting and all that. So I said, okay, that's it. That's what we will do it. And we said, okay, let's invest now. And we built a whole platform around that concept, understanding and all that, and went about it. So then the journey took us a few months from there. We happened to be part of the InsurTech event in Las Vegas, and we showed the prototype to whoever we could speak to in the industry, and we got mixed feedback. What is this gamification? What is this simulation? We don't get it, kind of thing. Training by gaming. We introduced some terms, training by gaming and all that. But
it's interesting field,
yeah. So it is a lot of, you could see the skepticism from the people, but you see people enthused. This is something new and all. So the journey took us like that, and we happened to be partnered with a few people. We sponsored some events, and we demonstrated, hey, this part and this. Today you're conducting this business interruption workshop, and we took our solution there, and we created the whole immersive experience and all, and people loved it. Like 70-80 people in the room, they loved it, and they're very, very engaged into the discussion. Then they start saying, hey, normally this is something it's not that great interesting, but you made it really interesting. This now makes sense and all that. And that gives us encouragement to invest further and translate that into a more sustainable business. We're still in the very, very early stages, but it's very encouraging now.
So let's that's a nice talk. I told you we will engage you because I think you're busy 45 minutes and we took your time. But now, what is about passion about you? What is your passion? Like, of course, cricket is there for some people, golf, your pastimes, hobbies, and what do you do? Like, you like music. What is it like? Other than, of course, the business and the
of course, the cricket. I've been a cricketer in the early days.
Really?
Of my college and all that. Actually, I used to open the batting for.
Really?
Wow!
So I did play opening batsman. Even when I joined the TCS. The first year was a lot of sports thing was there, so I was part of the TCS team for cricket. So it's good. Cricket has been the early passion, and then that translated into liking for the sports, whatever the sports it is. And now working with my kids and all that, so got into basketball and football as well. So so when I first came to US in the early 90s, that time. Bulls were in Chicago Bulls were big time, so Michael Jordan, Pippen, and all that. It's a baskeball. So then a few years went by. I didn't pay much attention. Now the kids caught up in the basketball, and I've just seen the technology now with the YouTube and all that. Right, so they're very much into how some of the players in the past, and also they know a lot more about Michael Jordan and what went in that time than I know. So now we connect back to that. So I do watch a few games with my kids.
Nets are good now. Nets are better, right? Nets are playing better actually. Kevin Durant and then Harden. Those are good players, actually. Yeah, yeah.
New Jersey Nets is coming back nicely
Yeah,
now.
Griffin and all that. Lakers
Right.
was always there, but
Yeah, and of
teams.
course, cricket also continues to be a good interest to watch at least.
India is doing
So,
good. Yeah,
yeah,
India is amazingly good.
good tours with Australia and then England.
England, yeah.
Yeah, we won the series, and now the IPL is coming back. So
yeah, April. Yeah,
I look forward to some excitement there.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, Sanjay.
Great. So yeah, I mean, while we are about to wrap up our conversation here, and really thankful for sharing the insight. Mr. Ramki, what's your message to the budding entrepreneurs, and what's your thought? Because it's not, like you said, it's not an easy journey. It's still going on. And what's your message for two segments? One, which is one who are in the job for the long time and want to get into this path. And another is, of course, budding entrepreneurs.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, for the people who like me, who have gone through a lot of experience in working for different IT companies and all that, and wanted to start, one message is just forget everything what you've been through as quickly as possible, and try to get into the shoes of the younger generation. That's very important. You got to see it like a young entrepreneur. And then you have a greater chance of success. So that's one strong message, I would say, for the younger generation who's coming into this field. So I think they got to see this as a wonderful opportunity. With the world, we are at a point where there's so many things are coming together. The opportunity for innovation and boldly getting into something this is the best time. And with so much of support from large corporations, large organizations, investors, and all that, this is the right time to get into. Try out a few things and all that, and always take the support of. Don't forget the people with experience. They can be great advisors, great sounding boards. So I think that way you should feel good. So and these two generations should come together. There's a great they can do. The younger ones and the experienced ones coming together and doing things. I mean, that will be unbeatable.
Great. So you're suggesting that somebody who is a long time in the job or working in the corporation, they need to undo their experience a little bit, and then coming back with the young heart, like going back in the age and kind of start thinking from the fresh from the ground. And as you have done it, and because in the corporate you have customer, you have everybody, but here an entrepreneur, it's all you have to find a customer and idea and problems.
Absolutely.
Great. So once again, Mr. Ramki, thank you very much for sharing this insight. I mean, it's definitely great to have you in our, here the conversation. Anand, it's great, right?
Yeah, amazing, Ramki. Your story actually just connected us, so nicely. Sanjay and me have been a technologist for long now, and that's inspirational to us also. Not just to the people who are going to listen to you, the young and the existing, people, and they will also get some direction, from your ideas, how we should progress, and I'm also a believer of what you said, that touch your young mind or connect to your young mind. Those are the inspirational people with a lot of energy, and they bring a lot of positivity also to it. And of course, COVID is one of the examples which young generation may, even if they turn out entrepreneurs, may have situations like this to face and to overcome. That is quite a good learning, and how you went into a particular product and picked up and then followed your dreams, of doing that and connecting to people. That was nice, actually, Sanjay, the whole journey, and good to listen to you. And we'll connect again, and thank you for sharing. Very
Thank you.
Very
Thank you for the
well.
opportunity to talk to you a little bit about myself. And I would love to connect with some of the young entrepreneurs that you may have and talk to them and chat with them. And it's a learning experience for me anytime I speak to the younger generation. So absolutely.
We'll connect. We'll connect.
Thank you very much once again. Thank you for sharing the insight. It's a great and awesome conversation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.